Right now, new concerns over Iran's recent aggression in Afghanistan. Our next guest, a journalist for the New York Times, recently writing in that newspaper that the potential threat from Tehran is tied to the U.S. military and its shrinking presence in that part of the world. Joining us now by phone, the writer of that article, Carlotta Gall, Turkey bureau chief for the New York Times. So Iran is meddling in Afghanistan. What is their goal, Carlotta?
Well, that's what we found. The last few years, since the drawdown of American troops in 2014, Iran has become more and more involved. It seems multiple reasons for their own security. They want to have proxies along the border that are loyal to them or paid by them and they have leverage over. But ultimately, they want the foreign troops to leave. They think this is their backyard, and so they're making trouble, and some quite big trouble these days.
But you write that they have even been supporting ISIS. ISIS is not typically, ISIS is a Sunni tribe, right? Not typically supported by the Iranians.
No, I didn't find ISIS, but they're in cahoots now with the Taliban. They're supporting the Taliban, and they were even last year meeting with the leader of the Taliban, Mullah Mansour. They say it's to control the threat from ISIS. They say that the Taliban is a better ally than ISIS, so they're now, getting into bed with a Sunni extremist movement, which is extraordinary because they nearly went to war with them over the last years. So that is strange, but the calculation is to co-opt the least extreme of the Sunni extremists. And that's their calculation for their own security. But also we understood they're just causing trouble for the Afghan government and for the American troops that are helping them.
And some of this, you write, is the result of the U.S. pullout. There is a vacuum of power in Afghanistan, and the Iranians want to fill it. That's
certainly what we were told by political analysts, but also many of the Afghan officials. That's what they feel, that this drawdown of American troops has invited all other comers to get involved, including even Russia. Iran seems to be bringing in Russia into the game.
And the announced drawdown of U.S. forces announced under the Obama administration, that was not helpful.
No, I found for many years a lot of Afghans criticize that, because if you're going to fight and do a surge, as was done under the Obama administration, that you don't say that actually we're going to leave in 2 years' time. So that has long been criticized by Afghans on the ground. But then, of course, the drawdown really did happen in 2014, and now American troops are right down from nearly 100,000 to just 8,000. So that's where I think you've seen a dramatic shift on the ground, and that's where you've seen the Taliban come in with a big push to take power. And Iran wanted to get involved in that too. And so in the western province of Farah, where I went, they were telling me that the main threat now is Iranian-backed Taliban, not the usual Taliban, which is backed, as we all know, by Pakistan. So you've seen other players coming in to get their chunk of strategic depth, as you were, of control of an area.
Carlotta Gall.
They can call the shots.
Carlotta Gall is Turkey bureau chief for the New York Times and the author of that fascinating article in that paper. Carlotta, thank you very much for your expertise.